Yo, what's the word, family? So, y'all probably heard this already, but if you haven't, it's breaking news. Keefe D officially arrested on murder of Tupac. When this stemmed from his interviews, his firsthand encounters, his witness statements he had already made back in 2009 on a proffer. And in the proffer, he basically had, described some of the same things he had been saying on these podcasts. The only difference is I'm assuming that he thought he had some sort of immunity. I believe he even said it on an episode before. One of them VLAD TVs or Cam Capone's, where he said that he had immunity, but unfortunately he don't. And Las Vegas Police Department had raided his house about back in July. They had raided his house. People they was assuming it was connection of Tupac, and it's official. It definitely was in connection of Tupac. They had found different pictures of Tupac there at his home in Las Vegas, as well as 40 cal shell casing. I'm not sure if that's from way back or like why would he be holding on to something like this as if he think that he has immunity. Maybe he's gonna sell it in the future. Y'all get in the comments and y'all let me know. This is wild though. Keefe D. And I also heard that Greg Caden had basically had spoke on this whole situation and said that Keefe D definitely had got too cocky and started just speaking and speaking and writing a book back in 2007. And this is long after he had did the proffer and had to told the government what he thought had happened. From first counter experiences. Allegedly, that's what he was saying this whole time on these interviews and stuff, right? But he goes with the Las Vegas police have arrested a man in the deadly 1996 drive-by shooting, Tupac Shakur, a long-awaited break-in case that has frustrated investigators and fascinated the public ever since the hip-hop icon was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It was a very long time ago, but y'all know Las Vegas getting them teams right now. They cleaning a lot of this stuff off of they record. They want to be known as one of the safest places. I think Henderson, Nevada, which is right outside of Las Vegas, is like number 2 safest place in America, top 3. You feel me? So this is the message they trying to get out there. And with this case, this definitely was high profile, and it is associated with Las Vegas, a fight that took place at an actual fight. The Mike Tyson fight when he was fighting that night, and y'all seen a back and forth tussle that had happened in the lobby of the casino, which then later on, the story went is how, Tupac basically got gunned down in the car with Suge Knight on the strip, right by the Luxor Hotel and casino. So also, we want Keefe D, allegedly last living person in the car when the occupant shot Tupac, was arrested. Last year, they ex Greg Caden, the LAPD detective who initially solved the case years ago, while Keefe D was initially confessing to his involvement and still hadn't been arrested. So this is an exclusive clip right here. This is Greg Caden. Listen to this.
I wanted to touch briefly on the Vegas PD. Now, you said that you gave Keefe D a proffer agreement, which was not immunity. And the proffer agreement was just that he could not be prosecuted by any incriminating statements that he made to you, correct?
100%.
Okay. Now, he's done at least 5 interviews since that. Are those statements prosecutable?
Absolutely. They are absolutely not protected by our proffer agreement. The only statements that are protected by our proffer agreement is when he sat down with us. If anything he says outside of that are his own self-incriminating statements. So the DA in Las Vegas would be asked, okay, what are you going to put Keefe D on the stand? Put him on the stand. He pleads the 5th. So you've got Keefe D is basically the sole defendant in this case, where he's also the sole witness. Put him on the stand, he pleads the 5th. And then all you can do is take these statements that he's said publicly and use those to impeach him. Say, well, here's what you've said. And now our judge to say, is it enough to prove his guilt? I kind of think it is, but I'm not.
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. He made so many statements and so many things, and it's also a Vlad TV interview that just what Vlad TV even saying that the police, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, had contacted him in regards to his interview. You know what I'm saying? He even go on to say how I guess he still apparently think Keefe D is dangerous, where he made mention that he made sure he came with 2 armed security guards when he did the interview with him. So I don't know what exactly they're trying to paint, but just like you just heard from Greg Caden, you know, this is the guy who originally was behind the whole case. You know, this is an exclusive interview that was held up on the Outlaws radio show. So I'm going to play that footage back. This is episode 243, gang.
I'm not a D. I'm not.
Let's play that back real quick.
I wanted to touch briefly on the Vegas PD. Now, you said that you gave Keefe D a proffer agreement, which was not immunity. And the proffer agreement was just that he could not be prosecuted by any incriminating statements that he made to you, correct?
100%.
Okay. Now, he's done at least 5 interviews since
Facts.
that. Are those statements prosecutable?
Absolutely. They are absolutely not protected by our proffer agreement. The only statements that are protected by our proffer.
See, and that's what I was saying. So pay attention to this very moment. But the proffer was done back in 2009 with Greg Caden. You know, he explaining that basically he don't have immunity. He's violating that whole proffer right now by speaking on it on these different platforms, you know, getting some sort of monetary value, because that's probably when the government got mad that he went out there and started profiting. You know, he made a book. He came out with a book in 2017 on the whole subject, you know, on some like OJ shit. You feel me? But pay attention to that part though.
Proffer agreement is when he sat down with us. If anything he says outside of that are his own self-incriminating statements. So the DA in Las Vegas would be asked, okay, what?
And then peep this. I'm gonna take it back, but I just want y'all to follow me real quick, gang. But peep this. So not only he probably don't even remember what he actually said at that proffer most days, right? So if he allude and put extras on it, then he violates that proffer. See, pay attention to what Greg Caden is saying. He violating his proffer by adding these more details when originally that's an open mic. You know, a proffer is like an open mic. You have to tell all the truth and everything that's involved when it comes to what they're asking you. You know, you leave anything out, they can snatch that proffer back and you have to go to do your time. In this case, they're charging Keefe D with the murder of Tupac. You feel me? After his home was raided. If y'all just coming into the live, let's get it. We'll play it back all the way so y'all can hear it. I'm gonna let it play all the way through.
I wanted to touch briefly on the Vegas PD. Now, you said that you gave Keefe D a proffer agreement, which was not immunity. And the proffer agreement was just that he could not be prosecuted by any incriminating statements that he made to you, correct?
100%.
Okay. Now, he's done at least 5 interviews since that. Are those statements prosecutable?
Absolutely. They are absolutely not protected by our proffer agreement. The only statements that are protected by our proffer agreement is when he sat down with us. If anything he says outside of that are his own self-incriminating statements. So the DA in Las Vegas would be asked, okay, what are you going to put Keefe D on the stand? Put him on the stand. He pleads the 5th. So you've got Keefe D is basically the sole defendant in this case, where he's also the sole witness. Put him on the stand. He pleads the 5th. And then all you can do is take these statements that he said publicly and use those to impeach him. Say, well, here's what you said. And now ask a jury or a judge to say, is it enough to prove his guilt? I kind of think it is, but I'm not a DA that has to shoulder that burden.
I mean, he was on BT. Like he went on BT and admitted his involvement in this case.
You will not get any argument from me, bro, at all. I'm with you.
So y'all heard that, right? So he basically let it be known that he definitely did way too much. You know, and he did an interview on TMZ as well, and he had spoke on it, and he basically had said that Keefe D was too arrogant. He was too arrogant about the whole situation. He went way too hard. You know, Manny, salute. Yeah, he had went way too hard about this Tupac murder. And he was speaking on it as if he wanted them boys to come. You feel me? Because him putting it in his past, although he is the one who said on the interview once that he allegedly the one gave Orlando the gun. You feel me? That's big. Bro, if that was to happen right now to anybody, just anybody that's near you, and the person who gave him the gun, you don't think that person is going to be included in that whole murder? You don't think that they going to get some time too? Down to even if it's somebody who drove them to the location. That's just what happens, right? Somebody going to go down for this whole situation, and right now they saying that Keefe D, he got to pay up. You feel me? He got to pay up. Keefe D, he was arrested early Friday morning. Although the exact charges was not immediately clear, according to two officials with firsthand knowledge of the arrest, they were not authorized to speak publicly ahead of the expected indictment later Friday. So yeah, it's true, family. He was indicted on these charges. Like, this is going to be a full-blown investigation, and it is rumors that somehow P. Diddy was involved with. He used to deal with them dudes on the security side. You know, he used to deal with them in the past. And I wonder, is Keefe D gonna look for another lifeline and start including other individuals? Because he once before made a proffer, which makes him what you would call a snitch. You know, do he got some more people he can tell on to keep himself out of jail? I'm pretty sure y'all had to think about this. Y'all had to think about this, because I know I did. I'm like, yo, this is wild business. This dude Keefe D do the most. But VLAD TV was just on a platform as well. Let me search that. Let me pull that up real quick. VLAD TV was on. Let's get that video up. Let me see what it say. Because Vlad was just on. I'm trying to think of the podcast name, gang. And he spoke on Keefe D. He spoke on Keefe D. Vlad. Today. It was actually today. Right here. 4 hours ago. Vegas PD contacted me about my Keefe D interview. His prosecution will depend on the proffer. And y'all just heard Greg Caden, the person who gave him the proffer, what they had to say about it. You feel me? Let me touch this real quick.
YouTube is the new home of NFL.
Let me touch this this interview and see exactly what he's saying on a few parts. I don't want to play too much. I want to play just enough.
They try to seize this one interview of someone who asked me to take it down like the next day. Okay. Because they were fighting a case at the time. Their lawyer asked me to take him down. They then wanted to get the case at the time. Their lawyer the next day. Okay. And I've had to do this before. I remember this one time they tried to seize this one interview of someone who asked me to take it down like the next day. Okay. Because they were fighting a case at the time. Their lawyer asked me to take him down. They then wanted to get the footage from me, and I said no. And they were like, well, we're going to put you on the stand, whatever. We're going to subpoena you. Like, all right, well, I'm lawyering up then. Mm-hmm. So my lawyer got involved, and they weren't able to get it. And, you know, ultimately the guy ended up losing his case anyways, but we weren't involved in it. So if you interview on my platform, if the police then try to approach me on it, I'm always going to say no. Yeah. So I haven't even responded. And I'm sure the police are going to watch this and now see why. Yeah.
So I guess that's safe to say that Vlad, and I had spoke on this once before about Vlad TV, and you know, if he was giving up people and they was using some of his interviews on his platform to actually take down different people. And you just heard him. He just said it today. It just dropped that they definitely contacted him in regards to his interview, but he won't be responding. You know what I'm saying? And if he do respond, he gonna be responding with his lawyer. So they can't use his footage inside of that courtroom. But let's see what he's talking about when it comes to this proffer.
Somebody like in Keefe D's position, if he has any of these agreements, is there any time that he can talk about the stuff that he discussed with you guys without getting in trouble?
No, when he goes outside of that agreement, that information is all there to be used should a prosecutor choose to do so.
You see? That's exactly what's going on. It can be used because he went outside of the agreement. He went outside of the agreement. So
agreement that was given to Keefe was for that one session only.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was always aware of as well. But then again, I think there's more to it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? But according to Greg Caden, and Greg Caden is the one who gave him put that whole agreement together, you know. They put that whole thing together for Keefe D, and I'm pretty sure he would know out of all people, you know, if he went outside of the box and how they even able to use that, and does Keefe D have immunity? And apparently he don't. He don't got no sort of immunity. It's real in the field for him right now. You feel me? It's crazy. I definitely wanted to come in and chop it up and let y'all know this and what Vlad said. Vlad said that feds can't get no information. The FBI, the Las Vegas Police Department, whomever is searching for information to use it on court or with somebody who was on his platform, he ain't giving it up. Change this one. Yeah, I'm just updating this title because it's just wild. But I didn't even know. Like I figured they had contacted Vlad in regards to him giving up that interview, but he like, nah, y'all can't use. But it probably would make people not want to do interviews with him, to be honest with you. And a lot of them people right now is watching how this unfold. If they should do an interview with Vlad, or if an old case might reopen of them talking about something and they slip up and add more information because they can't remember what they said and whatever snitch paperwork they got. You feel me? I guess that's something that snitches got to go through. Remember what they said. Huh? I'm thinking. I told Vegas police it's a no-go. I wonder, can they still use the footage without his permission? I told Vegas police. Yeah, but he been indicted, y'all. Keefe D. Finally a break. And it's going to break all around the country as well as all around the world because Tupac is very known, bro. This story will be breaking for some days, not weeks, you know, especially how soon they putting out more information in regards to what they have on them right now. Like I said, they said they got the 40 cal bullet casings. They grab that. They grab a bunch of memorabilia, like far as pictures of Tupac, interviews, news magazines, things of that nature was inside of there, as well as probably the original copy of that book that he released. you know, the rough draft, because I think that they was looking for that rough draft. You know, real talk. That rough draft, bro. I'm really thinking they was looking for it because he probably said information in that rough draft that he didn't tell them in that proffer, which makes them cancel out the proffer. Then they able to move forward with charging him. You feel me? He the last person that's still alive. I'm thinking that he shouldn't have even spoke on this. He should have let this be his past and move on. They put him in a trick bag. Yeah, they put him in a trick bag. Did it look? Yeah. So y'all seen that. Then I'm gonna play this call, but hold on, let me pull up this Keefe D and Orlando Ederson. Y'all share the live for me. Keefe D, DJ VLAD TV denies giving it up. That's true. This Von Zip.
With the Wells Fargo.
See, this is what I was talking about when it came down to P. Diddy. Now, this is what I'm about to play is some of the stuff that Gene Deal was saying about that Diddy connection with Keefe D. So I say, is Keefe D going to finish up and start saying more?
You to say, and how they need for you to think, and what you need to do to get out this situation. Say, this is the perfect time now. This is the perfect time now. If you're looking to get somebody and you got a hit or somebody paying you $1 million to hit somebody, anytime you see this is a perfect time. Am I right or am I wrong?
Y'all hear him talking about this $1 million that was supposed to be in play. A whole $1 million on Tupac's head.
Puffy. And what does Zip say? What did Greg Katie say or Keefe D say that Zip said? This is the perfect time now. This is the perfect time now. If you're looking to get somebody and you got a hit or somebody paying you $1 million to hit somebody, anytime you see this is a perfect time. Am I right or am I wrong? He's the only spade left on the table. He gonna win or he gonna lose.
So you don't believe that Von Zip is the one that provided, Keefe D the gun to shoot Tupac?
I don't believe. I've been around Zip plenty of times. Zip ain't have a gun on him when the 17-year-old kid shot him in the stomach. If Zip was a gun carrier, and he's in front of his club. Zip was never known for carrying a gun.
So y'all hear that? Y'all hear that they said that Gene Deal saying that Von Zip wasn't the one who gave him the gun. But I heard Keefe D say that he was the one who gave him the gun. So again, it's probably lining up with out of the box of that proffer. Gotta be. He cooked.
You feel me?
I feel you, man. So when it comes to, who shot Tupac, right? You still believe that Orlando, he wasn't the one.
Man, I go by what the witness say who was there, not what somebody come out 10 years ago and make up. If Gaddafi, if was the other young gentleman from the Outlaws say they saw a big black arm come out the window, it was only one big black person in the back of that car. according to Keefe D. Big Dre.
So why do you think Keefe D is lying and putting the blame on, Orlando instead of Big Dre? Because they both dead. So, does it really matter?
Who did he put the shooting on first, brother? Keefe D put the shooting on Orlando first because Dre and Orlando was living. When they got to Keefe D, Dre was dead.
Oh, y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. So when they see, that's it right there. So if he did put some false information in that proffer because this person being living and him being, scared, wow, this is crazy. This is getting deep, y'all. But y'all heard it here first. I just wanted to come in and touch on this subject. Y'all get in the comments and y'all let me know what y'all think. It's definitely the Cloud Chaser TV. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Share this on Facebook and Twitter. Gang.